What is up, guys, and welcome to today's episode of the Second Chair Leaders Podcast. I am so glad you're here because we're diving into something every second chair leader needs to hear, including myself. So let me hit you with this right away. Your senior leader, they need you more than you probably realize. But here's the problem. Most second chair leaders either don't know this, or maybe they just don't know how to step into the kind of influence that their senior leader oh so desperately wants them to have. You're not just there to carry out tasks or to execute your pastor's vision. Your senior leader needs you to think like a leader, act like a partner, and challenge them when it matters most. So let's just be real. They may not say this out loud, so today I'm going to say it for them. If you want to be the kind of second chair leader who changes the game, you're in the right place today. So before we jump in, please don't forget to subscribe to this podcast so you never have to miss an episode. And if this resonates with you, I want to hear your thoughts. So drop a comment below, share this episode with a friend, and let's keep this conversation going. All right, let's get started. Let's just start here. Your senior leader sees more than you think. I know, if you're like me, sometimes you might feel invisible. Like all that hard work, it just goes unnoticed. But let me tell you something today. I truly believe that you're wrong. Your senior leaders, they see the meetings you lead. They see the systems that you improve, all of the sacrifices that you make. They just don't always say it out loud. And here's probably why your senior leader may not always be patting you on the back all the time. It's because they're juggling 1,000 things. Their focus is often on the big picture. It's often on the next move, the long-term vision, but don't confuse their silence with ignorance. They're watching you, and they know the mission doesn't move without you. So here's what your senior leader wishes you understood today. Consistency is king. Your steady, reliable presence is the foundation that empowers your senior leader to lead with boldness and with vision. So it's not about just showing up. It's about showing up every time and showing up ready to deliver excellence. Your consistency doesn't just support the mission, it fuels it. It creates trust and stability and momentum that everybody depends on. You do know when you show up and execute with excellence, it allows them to trust you. And you know that trust, it is the foundation of your partnership. So just stop assuming that your senior leader doesn't notice you. Instead, ask yourself, are you consistently delivering value? Or are you quietly waiting for validation? Because I believe there is a difference. So here's a practical tip for you already. I want you to schedule a quick check-in with your senior leader to share, hey, what's going well in your area? And it's never about bragging. It's just about alignment. When you and we take the time to communicate the dubs, the wins, the challenges, and all those updates, you're just building trust and reinforcing that you're both on the same page. Think of it kind of like this. Clarity, it builds confidence, and confidence strengthens your partnership. So here's a key question to reflect on. How are you showing your senior leader today that you are dependable, but also a proactive partner? What's one thing you could share this week to move you and your senior leader's relationship forward? Now that we've considered how to strengthen our relationship, I want us to take it a little bit deeper because it's important. Here's what your senior leader needs you to understand. They don't just need another follower. They need a partner in leadership because every Moses needs a who? An Aaron. Every Paul needs a Timothy. Every David needs a Jonathan. Every Esther needs a Mordecai. And here's where it gets real for us today. Our senior leader doesn't just need us to just execute. They need us to think and act like a leader. So if you're just sitting in the second chair It's time to stop waiting for instructions. Leadership isn't about simply just checking the boxes or simply following the to-do list, right? It's about stepping up and owning the vision like it's your own. Because your senior leader isn't just looking for someone who just completes the task, does the grocery list. They need someone who sees the bigger picture, somebody who anticipates the challenges and who helps carry the heavy weight of the mission of the house. Think about, that means taking initiative, solving problems before they arise and bring ideas to the table instead of just waiting to be asked. Think about it like this. Are you waiting for permission, or are you stepping into your role with confidence and purpose? I believe our ability to think ahead and take responsibility and act decisively isn't just helpful. I believe that it's essential. So when you shift from being a task doer to a vision carrier, you become irreplaceable partner in the mission. This kind of proactive leadership doesn't just strengthen the relationship with your senior leader. I think that it actually creates momentum for the entire organization. The question is this: are you ready to step into that level of leadership? So here's what your senior leader wants you to know. They value your perspective. You see things that they just don't see. You're closer to the team. You're closer to the problems, and you're closer to the opportunity. So speak up. They need your voice in the room. They need you to own your lane. Don't just ask, what do you need me to do today? Instead, say, here's what I think we should do, and here's how I can help. I know it's tough to do that, but come on, be confident in yourself. Because if you're just waiting for direction, you're not leading, you're reacting. Leaders act, partners anticipate. So here's just a few practical tips I've learned over the years for our second chair leaders. Proactively identify one gap in the ministry, one gap in your team this week, and bring a solution to your senior leader today. Show them that you are invested in the outcome, not just the process. So here's maybe a key question for our listeners today. What's one area where you can move from being a follower to being a proactive partner, right? So now that we've identified how to step up, we all can do better. As a proactive partner, let's address what I would say is another crucial area of second chair leadership, one that requires both courage and grace. For me, it's one of the toughest dynamics in our role. It's giving honest feedback to our senior leader. Here's something your senior leader will never probably tell you, but they desperately need. They want your honest feedback. And here's why. No one grows without accountability. Growth never happens in comfort zones. It happens when we're challenged, when we're stretched, when we're refined. So if you see something that's off, and you probably do, whether it's a broken system maybe, or maybe a flawed decision, or even the way that your senior leader communicates, and you stay silent, you're not protecting them. I think you're probably holding them back. By staying quiet, you're allowing problems to persist that could damage the mission in the long run. So leadership is never about avoiding hard conversations. It's about having them in a way that builds trust and drives progress forward. I have learned, and I'm still learning, that silence is not loyalty. It's complacency. The mission of your church is way too important for us to let fear or maybe discomfort keep us from speaking the truth in love. I believe when you step up respectfully and address the issues, you're not just helping your senior leader, you're strengthening the entire ministry. Accountability should never be a threat to leadership. I believe that it's the foundation of growth. So here's what your senior leader wish you knew. One, timing matters. If you come at your senior leader with feedback in the middle of a crisis or right after a bad meeting, it's never going to land well. So choose the right time. And secondly, this is probably one area I still have to work on, but respect and tone matter even more. Feedback isn't an attack, it's an invitation to improve. So frame your words in a way that builds trust, not walls, right? So if you're sitting on feedback because you're afraid, I get it, but I think you're prioritizing your comfort over their growth. We all know that leadership isn't about comfort. It's about courage. Would you like some practical tips that I've learned? All right, here we go. Number 1, practical tip. I want you to start with positivity. Pastor, here's what I see working. And this is why that matters. Beginning with affirmation, it sets a positive tone for the conversation. But it also, I've learned, it shows our senior leaders that you're paying attention to the good and not just pointing out the flaws. What this does is it builds trust and it makes them more receptive for all of the feedback that's coming. So how do you do it? Well, be specific. Instead of saying things like, hey, Pastor, you're doing a great job, actually highlight maybe a particular success. And a tip would be just avoid general praise. Focus on tangible wins. And when you do that, it builds credibility, right? And I want you to highlight areas for growth. Here's where I think we can improve. And this is why it matters. Constructive feedback, I believe that it fosters growth. Addressing gaps or even challenges, it's not criticism. It's just an opportunity to make the mission, the vision stronger. So, how do you do it? Well, focus on the issue, not the person. Use the family language like we. And what that does is it emphasizes collaboration. So a key tip would be just be direct, but also respectful. Avoid all that sugarcoating, but also avoid language that feels accusatory or even just critical. Number 3, offer solutions. Hey, Pastor, here's a solution. I'd love to explore it with you. And this is why that matters. Feedback without a solution, it kind of feels incomplete, right? Offering actually actionable steps shows you that you're invested in fixing the issue, not just pointing it out. So how do you do it? Well, propose ideas, but also remain open to collaboration. And just a key tip would be frame solutions as suggestions, not demands. This invites conversation and it keeps the senior leader engaged. Something like, hey, Pastor, I really appreciate how you communicated the vision for our upcoming series. Like it really got the whole entire team energized and aligned. We're so pumped. But I've noticed some confusion in how we're tracking volunteer schedules. I think we could probably simplify the process to avoid overlap. But you know what? I would love to explore using maybe this app that I've learned, a scheduling app, just to streamline the volunteer process. I can even research a few options if you'd like and see what works best for us. So here's an acronym, TAFF, T-A-F-F. T, timing is everything. You got to choose the right moment for feedback. When your senior leader is calm and not in the middle of a high stretch situation, come on, timing is everything. A, approach with the right tone. Keep your tone collaborative and supportive. Feedback should feel like a team effort, not an attack or not even a critique. F, follow up. Somebody say follow up with me. After offering all of that feedback, check on progress or ask, hey, is there further support needed? What this does is it shows that you're invested in the outcome. And F, T-A-F-F, fortify yourself for pushback. Not all feedback will be received easily. So stay calm. If there's resistance, just reiterate that, hey, Pastor, my goal is to help, not criticize. So maybe a key question for you would be, what's one piece of honest feedback your senior leader needs from you today? And how can you deliver it well? So now let's get a little personal. Your senior leader, yeah, they're human too. Here's what I've learned over all the years. It's easy to criticize from the sidelines, to focus on what you believe your senior leader could do or should do, be doing better. But let's take even a step back and consider this. Your leader is carrying a weight you cannot fully understand. Behind every decision they make, there are layers of responsibility, pressures that you may never see, and the constant reality that their choices impact not just the team, but they also impact the entire church. They're balancing vision with practicalities of ministry while often shouldering like their own personal struggles, their own spiritual battles that go unnoticed. Leadership at the top can feel so isolating, and the weight they carry isn't just about what's happening today. It's about protecting the future of the mission. So before you criticize, ask yourself, how can I support them in lifting that weight? Hey, how can I help share the burden instead of adding to it? Because true leadership means stepping in with understanding, not judgment, and being the partner they need to navigate the challenges they face. Here's what your senior leader needs you to know. Your senior leader, they have insecurities just like you. Even the most confident leaders question themselves at times. They're also juggling personal struggles too. You don't see the sleepless nights. You don't see the family challenges or the spiritual battles, but can I tell you today that they are real? And also, your encouragement matters. A simple, "Pastor, I appreciate who you are." It can actually be a lifeline to them on a tough day. Stop tearing them down in your mind. Start building them up in prayer. Here's a practical tip. I want you to take 60 seconds this week to send your senior leader a message of encouragement. Let them know that you see their effort and you're praying for them. A question I want you to ask yourself is, how can you support your senior leader as a person, not just a leader? Here's what I would often do for my senior leader. I would often take his truck, get it detailed, get it washed, because I knew he really liked that. Go get his oil changed. I would go grab him lunch. I would spend time with him outside of the church. We'd go watch movies. He loved Marvel movies. I'd go to the gym, whatever. I would give him the grace he needed to be a human and not a pastor with me. He could be with me and be a normal dude without the pressure of needing to be pastor so-and-so. I could handle his low moments, and he knew in those low moments there would be no judgment, there would be no criticism. And as a second chair leader, you need to be able to handle the human side of your leader. Here's what I want to leave with you right now. Your senior leader is rooting for you. They want you to grow. They want you to thrive and succeed and step into your full potential. Because when you succeed, the mission succeeds. So here's what they wish you knew. They want you to know they see your potential even if they don't always say it. They want you to take initiative. Don't wait, second chair leader, for permission to lead boldly. They also want you to know that they believe in you more than you believe in yourself. So second chair leader, if you're playing small because you're afraid of failing, you're only holding yourself back. So I call you today to step up because the mission needs your boldness. Second chair leadership is not about just supporting. It's about partnering. It's about influencing and thriving in your God-given role. This week, I challenge you, take one of these insights and act on it. Be the partner, be the leader, and the encourager your senior leader needs. And if this episode right here hit home for you, I want you to share it with another leader right now. Let's keep building a community of second chair leaders who know their value and lead with excellence every day. Remember, you're not just in the second chair, you're in the seat of incredible influence. So let's lead well, and I will see you next week. Let's go.